Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 4th day of January 2024. I hope you're safe and healthy today, that your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders to save lives every day, along with those also that pick up garbage for us to keep our streets and sidewalks and villages and towns clean and disease free, and those also that make deliveries, such as mail, for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography and child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of all these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things. And double curses on the perverts that create such a heinous industry of these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, and increasingly senior citizens homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings, double blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Brethren, there was a basketball game last night at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks defeated the Chicago Bulls 116-100. We called it the trap game because it's a game Knicks should win, with the Bulls, especially the Bulls being without Vucevic, without Levine. And so we expected to win that game, and they did win the game, and they won it pretty handily. What is being revealed, as we only have had 2 games now with OG and Anunoby, what is being revealed is, well, it's not something we didn't know. For example, I think most of us understood that Julius Randle and RJ Barrett were not a good combination together. It's neither one of them's fault, as some people try to rag on. Like I said, some of y'all are sick. You just use the Knicks to get off all your negativity. But they together were not a good combination. 2 lefties, 2 ball-dominant lefties that really didn't create a lot of space. So they weren't good together. And it's showing because RJ is playing better in Toronto. And obviously, Julius and Brunson are playing better in New York. Okay, and so the absence of RJ has opened up space in the floor, especially with a player like OG Anunoby, who can hit a stand-up, open 3 and stretches the floor and, of course, plays all NBA level defense. So we're seeing that now for the first time, in the Tom Thibodeau era, because Tom Thibodeau inherited RJ and Julius. So this is good for both the Knicks and Toronto. It was also, some people are already whining about Quickly. We knew Quickly was a starting level point guard. I wanted Quickly to get the keys before we got Brunson, but we got Brunson. Let's move on. So Quickly's a starting level point guard. I knew he was like an all-star talent, and he's showing that in Toronto right now. Toronto's won 2 straight, and the Knicks have won 2 straight. But we're seeing now more open floor. So last night, the number that sticks out to me is the 29 assists that the Knicks had yesterday. That, and Brunson now getting 13 assists. This is the second double-digit assist game. Now, what this means to me is that the floor is more open. OG Anunoby is a beneficiary of that because he moves extremely well without the basketball, as does Deonte. They both move extremely well without the ball. Very important when you have a Brunson who's a ball-dominant point guard. And so these two have been beneficiaries. And this is, again, the thing. Tom Thibodeau mentioned it in the post-game conference last night. He said, we haven't gotten our bench going yet. And what that means is he's trying to really figure out the distribution of the minutes. So last night, Grimes played 18 minutes, Hart played 25 minutes, McBride played 10, and Achua played 11. And he specifically said, we got to get Deuce going. And that's true, because you want the Knicks signed Deuce at this trade to let him know, we're going to play you. We're going to put some trust in you. And that's what they're going to do. And he's ready. He's ready. So at this point, Tom admitted he has to figure out the bench, get the bench unit going. he's now figuring out or have figured out the starting unit. Of course, not that we know who it is, but that they playing in a flow, and they are, and they're not even, to me, at their highest level yet. And this is the thing that's so exciting about it. So last night, DiVincenzo was 4 of 10. Brunson shot 13 of 22. That's the Brunson we're looking for. Hartenstein was 4 of 6. Anunoby 5 of 9. And Randall 13 of 23. This is the type of shooting we're looking for. And so Hart was 1 of 5. McBride 1 of 3. Grimes 3 of 9. He got to get them in a rhythm. And part of the rhythm is making sure they know. One of the things in the league, like people kept mentioning to me yesterday, a few people, McBride needs more confidence. No, he doesn't. He's very confident. What he needs is confidence that he's going to get the same minutes every night. That's one of the most important things to a player in the league, any player, to know what your role is and what you can expect every night. For example, when Quickly was here, he knew he was coming off the bench. He knew he was getting at least 20 minutes every game or more, so he was prepared for that. Well, Grimes, Grimes, McBride, and Achua need to know, what are my minutes going to be? Am I getting 15 to 20 a night, which is what they should be getting? Then once they know this, and this is a constant, they can prepare for that, and they can play better, understanding that they have a set role. That's what you go, and that's why he said, I got to get the bench going. That's what he means. He's got to get them in a set role where they can expect a certain amount of minutes and get those minutes. You don't want Brunson playing 38 minutes every night. He's going to get hurt. You don't want him. Okay, I know he's a tough kid, but you don't want to push it. And although we know Randall's a workhorse, 39 minutes, a little too much. We would like to cut that down to 34, 35 for both of them. If you do that, now you're going to distribute more bench time. And Brunson's going to need to be ready for the playoffs. And so you don't want to wear him out now. Brunson wearing himself out if you let him. And that's what Tibbs is going to, I think he's going to rein that in. Hartenstein. I mean, somebody mentioned, Brother Joe Curry, he mentioned, Drummond is a Knick killer. And he's right. Drummond traditionally, no matter what team he's been on, has been always having big games against the New York Knicks. There's several players that do that, especially Madison Square Garden. But I felt like Hartenstein, being a roughneck himself, could handle Drummond, because Drummond is not a three-point threat. It's not like he's, somebody that's going to set a three-point line like Kristaps Porzingis. He's an under-the-basket dude. Well, that's in Isaiah Hartenstein's wheelhouse. So last night, Hartenstein gets 20 boards. And now he played 37 minutes. I still think that's a little too much. And I think that's going to be cut back a little bit. But daggone. I think if he can give, and I think he can, 30 minutes a night. Man, and so the Knicks last night out-rebounded the Bulls 52 to 39. And they dominated Minnesota. Now, Minnesota with 2 7-footers in the starting lineup. The Knicks dominated the boards against them. Hartenstein is the roughneck, like between Hartenstein, Randall, and Anunoby. We got the roughneck crew. These are rough riders, man. These are the roughnecks right here. We got some physical, powerful dudes. And I'm telling you, watch out, because here come Precious. Precious coming too. I'm telling you, Precious is coming up too. So this I'm excited about. Okay, back in the day, when the Knicks got the coach, Pat Riley had been used to playing fast break basketball with Magic Johnson and the Lakers. They called him Showtime. When he came to the Knicks, one of the brilliant things about Riley is he saw what the Knicks had, and he decided to go the roughneck route. So they get Xavier McDaniel, they bring in Charles Oakley, they got Patrick Ewing, and they became very physical defensive basketball team. He changed the outlook from being his style in LA to now a new style based on what the Knicks had. Well, with Mitchell, the Knicks had the defensive anchor, the dude that could cause fast breaks, the dude that could, but now they don't have that. So what did they do? So now you got roughnecks under there. You got physical dudes underneath the basket. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. So Tom is going the physical route. And now you add Precious Achua to that mix. Josh Hart's physical, but he's like undersized, but that don't seem to matter with him. He's a very physical basketball player. McBride is physical. I'm liking the way this team is looking. So this was a game for the Knicks to get acclimated. I only worried about the upset in terms of the trap game. But the Knicks should have won this game. We know they're going to win this game. We just want them to get acclimated. And that's happening. Now, they had a big test on Monday when they beat Minnesota, the number 1 team in the West. Big test coming up Friday. Okay? You got Joel Embiid, who's back from injury. They thoroughly spanked Chicago. And this is the thing. I give Chicago credit. That was the second night of a back-to-back on the road. Okay? They had just got thoroughly beat down by Philly the night before. And now last night they coming into Madison Square Garden. So and then they did not have Levine. They did not have Vucevic. And so you got to give them some credit. You know, they did not have Torrey Craig, who's another physical defender that they use. And so you got to give them credit. They came in, they fought hard against the Knicks. They just were overmatched. The Knicks are the better team, period, right now. I know we're not used to being able to say that, but the Knicks are the more talented and better basketball team. So they should have won the game. But you give them credit. But here, on Friday, the Knicks have a back-to-back on the road. But the road is not as bad. See, when you got to travel all the way out to Oklahoma City or San Antonio or L.A., that's a road trip. Okay, but when you're traveling between, say, Boston, Philly, and Washington, D.C., that's not so bad. You understand? They don't have to travel as far, and that's almost like local games. It's not really that far of a road trip. So it's a road trip, but it ain't far. So they're going down the pike, the Jersey Turnpike, to play Philly on Friday. Embiid's going to be there. Maxey going to be there. Harris going to be there. Melton, the whole crew, they ready to go. And so this is going to be the real test with the new squad right here. I am not as concerned with Embiid on the low block with Hartenstein. I'm concerned with Embiid from the perimeter because he can shoot. He's big, physical, and he can shoot. We're going to need some help. So that's where OG Anunoby comes in. See, last night, DeRozan. We know DeRozan's a Knick killer. He's a Knick killer, man. He is. Especially in that mid-range. But I was very confident because we have OG that we can contain him. Now, he still got 28 last night, 10 of 13. He shot the ball extremely well last night. 5 of 5 from the line, 3 or 4 from the field. But, hey, he was not as, devastating to us as he normally is, especially down the stretch. The Knicks just took over the game, second half of the game. I'm good. We good. Okay. Some of y'all keep pleading for another move because y'all tripping. We good. Okay. We really are. We good. I'd like to just see this team roll as is and see what we can do with this squad as is. Okay. And then, go from there. Right now, they cannot trade Deuce this season. They could trade Deuce in the summer if they wanted to. And I'm glad of that. Give this man a chance to play. They can trade some players after the 15th of this month. But I don't like to see another trade. Right now, see, you got a 9-man rotation with the bench being Achua, McBride, Hart, and Grimes. I'd like to just let that go and let's get them going. If you make another trade, like say everybody's talking about Deonte Murray. If you make a Deonte Murray trade, you're going to have to remove people from your rotation. More than likely would be Grimes, and then they'll put Evan Fournier's contract in there. That's what probably would happen. And I'm not going to add, some of y'all talking about 3 number ones. No, Deonte Murray's not worth 3 number ones. Okay? No. Okay? Just because we got it don't mean we need to spend it. No. So, I'm glad that Don's in charge. A lot some of y'all look desperate talking about 3 number ones. But it'll be Grimes. It would be Fournier, maybe 1 protected number 1. It'd be like that. If they make such a move, then Dante comes to the bench and Murray goes to the starting role. What y'all need to understand, though, is Murray is not a 3-point shooter. Okay? He's not as good a 3-point shooter as Dante is. Okay? Obviously, Murray's calling card is defense. It's defense. So Deonte could play, all NBA level defense. He can. And so that's what you're going to get from him. And so the Knicks would have a tremendous defensive unit, but they would lose shooting. They would lose shooting. Now, he takes, I'm looking at his stats this year. I'm wrong on this now. He's shooting 38% this year. Well, maybe that would be something. He's shooting 38% on 6 attempts. That's daggone good. I ain't gonna front. I didn't think he was shooting that well this year. He didn't used to shoot like that in San Antonio. Let me change my mind on this. Okay, so if they did trade Grimes and Evan Fournier and one number one for Deonte Murray, that would kind of put the Knicks on a new level. But I ain't holding my breath on that. If they do, they do. But right now, I know some of y'all, some people say, book it, they doing it. I mean, we'll see. The Don got a price. If Atlanta meets the price, we might get a deal done. If Atlanta doesn't, we roll on. So we'll see. But I like the team as it is. I like the potential. This Knicks team can get into the second round for sure, in my opinion. And maybe we'll see what happens. But for now, I like the squad. We got Philly this Friday. Let's see what we could do. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. So I'm going to hear now from the Deonte Murray hive. But we'll see what happens. I can hear y'all now. I'm looking at this dude's stats, and 38% from 3 ain't nothing to joke at. So we'll see. And I know he plays tight D. So you add that to the mix. That is kind of rough. But I would hate to lose Grimy. You all know I'm a Grime hive above all. And I always favor our own players. So we'll see what happens. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. Shalom.